I ran this workbook by Patty early before the offsite because I wanted to get some feedback from her. I mean, that's what all good employees do. And she had some feedback on some things that she wants changed. She went into the data management worksheet, and when she scrolled down, she no longer knew what column she was in. Let's see if we could fix that. Here I am back in the data management worksheet, and Patty has a fair point. Here, when I scroll down, I can no longer see the header. And was column F the revenue, or was that the cost? I'm not quite sure. I have to scroll up, and here I can see the header again. Oh, this is in fact the revenue, and this is the cost. But is there some way to freeze or lock the header in place? Up on the top tabs, let's click on the one titled View. And in the Window section of the ribbon, we see an option called Freeze Panes. When I click on this, I have a few different options. Here, we can freeze the top row. When I freeze the top row, you'll see this darker line appears between row 1 and 2. Now, when I scroll down, I can continue to see the header. That's pretty nice. When I click on Freeze Panes again, here I could also freeze the first column if I'd rather do that. Here now, if I scroll over, I continue to see the customer ID. To turn off Freeze Panes, I'll click on this dropdown, and here I can select Unfreeze Panes. Let's say maybe I want to freeze the top 2 rows, or maybe the top leftmost columns. How do we do that? Well, here I can place my cell anywhere on this sheet. And when I go up to Freeze Panes, there's also the option to just freeze the panes. When I select this, it'll freeze above this cell selection. So here would freeze between rows 5 and 6, and it'll freeze to the left of this cell selection. So here would freeze columns A and B. So let's say I just want to freeze the top 2 rows. I'll place my active cell here. So there's nothing to the left, but it'll freeze this row right up above this cell selection. Now I can click on Freeze Panes, and here that freezes the top 2 rows. Here I'll click on Unfreeze. Now let's say I want to freeze the 2 leftmost columns. Here, I'll place my cursor here, and let's go up to the top. So there's nothing above this cell selection, but there are 2 columns to the left. Here I can click on Freeze Panes, and that's now frozen the 2 leftmost columns. Let's once again unfreeze. Now, let's say I want to freeze all of these rows up above and all of these columns to the left. I'll place my selection here, click on Freeze Panes, and there now I've frozen all of these rows and all of these columns. And you can see how that works. Now, I don't know if this case is as needed, and probably not as many people will use this, but you have many options when it comes to freezing panes. Here, once again, let's unfreeze.